You're with Dale Vince here today. It's his first experience of canvassing, doorstepping. How do you feel he's enjoying it, and how do you feel that Dale's with you today supporting your campaign?
Yeah, well, it's great Dale's with us. He's clearly a sort of national champion of sustainable energy. I'm looking forward to taking him to the doors. That's all I do at the moment, canvass. In fact, I've got a repetitive strain injury on my knuckle from knocking, but I'll be really interested to see what he makes of it, because it's where you get real politics, because you talk to real people about their problems. So I'm really looking forward to introducing Dale to that and making sure he's aware of all the issues that are facing the country.
It's like my first time door knocking, so I'm kind of like I'm mostly excited, just for a new experience, really. Meet people on doorstep, find out what it is they're thinking about. I spent most of the last 2 years doing interviews on right-wing radio, TV, and that kind of stuff, writing for right-wing newspapers as well. And so I found that really interesting in terms of hearing what people outside of my bubble think. Now, I mean, Stroud is my bubble, but not everybody feels the same way as I do in Stroud. So I'm expecting to meet some people with some different views and learn from that.
How do you feel Siobhan Bailey's time in Stroud has been so far?
I think it didn't pass fast enough. I don't think she's done anything. I don't even know where she is now. I never see or hear anything of her. She was parachuted in, didn't expect to win. I think it was a travesty for Stroud, really, that happened. We had a great local candidate in Dave Drew, but ultimately it doesn't matter, because we are where we are, and the Tories had another 5 years just to make things even worse. And after 14 years, I think it's clear to everybody that everything the Tories are standing for, free markets, privatisation, running down the health service, to privatise it and that kind of stuff, none of that's in the public interest. The Tories don't act in the public interest, they serve themselves.
As a GP, the NHS is absolutely on its knees at the moment. We need to rescue it, really, from the clutches of the Tories. We need to completely change our energy, so we start making clean, sustainable energy, which is cheaper, and so we're not relying on Putin as well. And also, we're saving the climate from some sort of destruction and chaos. And then we need to start redoing our schools, getting more teachers into schools. We need to get better buses. We need to start building houses for young people, and that's low cost and social housing. I could go on, Ash, but there's a lot to do, certainly.
There's a big issue here in the Five Valleys, Stroud District, with food banks. We spoke to Rishi Sunak 2 years ago, and his plan was, in his time, was to eradicate food banks. Do you believe you can eradicate food banks?
Yeah, I believe we can. And what we have to do, interesting thing about food banks is that 70% of people that use them are in paid employment. So one of the things we have to do is lift people out of low pay. And our new deal for working people will help to do that, help to lift people out of the sort of minimum wage economy to better funded jobs, particularly in caring, which is one of the areas. So nursing and carers were quite often using food banks, as were teachers as well. So we need to improve people's prosperity in that way. And I do think we can, get rid of food banks. In fact, it's embarrassing that we have we've had a massive increase in the use of food banks over the last 2 or 3 years in what is the 6th richest country in the world. So it's not right, it's unequal, and we need to change that. We need to, if we can, get rid of food banks so that everyone is prosperous enough not to need them.
What would be your message to the Stroud electorate?
Well, it's vote Labour, really, for so many reasons. There's a huge difference between the Conservative Party and the Labour Party. Manifestos are out today. I think Labour one is out today, but that just confirms what we know. The Tory party stand for the past, fossil fuels, digging for coal, drilling for oil, that kind of stuff. They're the party that have run the country into the ground over the last 14 years, given us 3 leaders since the last election. I think you could vote for Sunak on July the 4th, but who knows who you'll have by September the 4th. We don't know. I think it's a party that's ran out of ideas, ran out of talent, and needs a period of reflection outside of government.
And why do you think people should vote in Stroud for Simon Opher?
Well, he's a local guy, and he's a good guy. He stands for Labour. I think Labour will make the best choice for the country. I think we'll have the greenest government actually that we've ever had. It might be the greenest that the world has ever seen. That's my kind of ambition, my hope. They get the whole green economy. I know that Simon gets it as well. We've got some plans to do something here locally in terms of green energy, some locally owned green energy around the district as part of the Great British Energy bigger picture. And he's the best candidate.
What has been the reaction so far on the doorstep?
It's been incredibly positive, actually. There's a lot of Labour support. There was a lot of people who were undecided, and I have noticed actually in the last week or so more and more people are switching to the Labour side. We've still got some work to do, and one of those things we've got to do is to persuade people that voted Green in the district elections to get behind us, at least lend us their vote, so we don't get another Tory MP.
And finally, would you consider a role in government?
I don't know about that. Actually, that's such a broad question. I would absolutely help if I could in some way. So with the things that I know about green energy and sustainability, the economics of it all, we've got some great ideas on tidal lagoons, for example, and what GB Energy could do. I'd like to help. I don't know if role sounds a bit formal, but I mean, who knows?